What's up, y'all? It's Carla, aka Sila the Poet. How y'all doing? I'm gonna take this time today to talk about some of the reasons why I continue to deconstruct and to research Christian history. So, there was the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, and on my Facebook page, I saw a lot of Christians that were going back and forth. Some people supporting the man and some people decrying the man. And that made me want to talk about Christian history and how racism affected religion and culture, and white Christian nationalism and white Western European values affected the way that Christianity is practiced. So let's look at some of the quotes that our founding fathers said about Africans. Okay? We'll start off with Benjamin Franklin. Okay? And he said this in 1751. Why increase sons of Africa by planting them in America, where we have so fair an opportunity by excluding all blacks and tawnies of increasing the lovely white and red? Okay, so this is something that President Benjamin Franklin said in 1751. Then we have Thomas Jefferson, who spoke this in 1755. I advanced it, therefore, as a suspicion, only that the blacks, whether originally a distinct race or made distinct by their circumstances, are inferior to the whites in the endowments of both body and mind. Okay? In a 1858 debate with Stephen Douglas, okay, it was said that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together. While they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior, and I, as much as any man, am in favor of having the superior assigned to the white race. And let's look at what Abraham Lincoln said. I do all say that I am not nor ever have been in favor of bringing about in any way the political and social equality of the white and black races. Okay? And this was the same president that was responsible for the Emancipation Proclamation. So, these are some of the quotes that our racist founding fathers, or should I say, ex-presidents, have said about African American black people. And I think that as the American public, people are trying to ban this history because it makes white America look horrible. It makes them look really bad, this type of history. It just shows how deep the rabbit hole goes and just how racist some of these people were. And I think that we are very, very naive to deny the consequences of the mindsets of these leaders and how it affected the policies that they made, how it affected the laws that they made, and how it affected the way that people are treated to this day. Because I studied law in college, and what it is that a lot of case law, they solve court cases by going back into case law and looking at previous cases to be able to see what was done. So you have basically the foundations of older cases and some of the decisions of older cases that end up affecting the decisions that are made in cases today. So basically, just it sets a precedent. And so when you have mindsets like these, by political leaders, right? These mindsets are very racist and they're very harmful, you know. And I think that, we can't deny the foundations of what this leads to. It leads to people like Charlie Kirk, speaking the rhetoric that he was saying, while he was alive, and just the legacy that he was leaving of just, hatred and, just discrimination and things like that. So yeah, my thoughts and my mindset are on, Christian history, and some of these presidents claim to be Christians too. And so the thing is, having these very, very white supremacist and racist mindsets, yeah, it's really not cool. The more that I find out about Christian history, the more appalled and the more, disgusted I'm becoming. So I also ended up reading about, let's see, hold on one second, guys, because I just try to make sure I have my research available. So there was a World Missionary Conference in the year 1910 in Edinburgh, right? Where missionaries and Christians got together and basically concluded that African primal religions contained no preparation for Christianity. Okay? Most of these missionaries there were European, and some of them were colonizers, and some of them were just European Christians, and they basically came to a conclusion that traditional African religions had no preparation for Christianity. So this set the tone to start labeling African religions as, heathenism, paganism, and, labeling it as godless. So these are the type of things that, it really, really affects, the way that we practice religion. A lot of us here, we really, really do have a colonial mindset when it comes to Christianity and the way that it is practiced. Not enough people do their due diligence to look back into Christian history to see what is what, to see, what it is that let me see if I could find the right words to say. People don't do enough research or enough searching, to find out the truth and to find out sources of what it is that they actually believe. To look at the sources, to be critically minded, and to be able to question things and to research things and to sift things out to see whether or not the religion that you are living out or the religion that you're being taught is actually, based on something that is foundationally truthful, foundationally in concert with Jesus's values. I saw something in the Bible which said, how can you love God but hate your brother? And so when I think about some of the rhetoric that I've heard from Charlie Kirk and from people who support him, how can you hate your immigrant neighbor, your lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender neighbor? How can you hate your African American brothers and sisters, right? Or hate people that are different than you and then claim to love God? So this is just part one of my thoughts after doing some research, and I will do a part two. Peace.